Lots of people reached out and said, yo, Mortal Shell gameplay, check it out. I missed it. It wasn't part of the PlayStation console reveal, it was part of the PC game show or something like that. Had I known that that show was going to happen next, I would have done like an entire live stream watch through. But here we are. Late, but you know, better than ever. Wait, that's not the same. Better than never. Mortal Shell gameplay. New class. Alright, this is 10 minutes and 39 seconds, and then we have Mortal Shell gameplay interview. 16 minutes 37 seconds, and we have a Mortal Shell gameplay trailer. I'm gonna check out the new trailer. It's 1 minute, and then we're going to check out the interview. I might also skip through some footage if it's just like talking about the way the eyelids on an NPC looks. I just kind of want to see the actual gameplay. I'm very excited for this game. Let me tell you. Usually when I see a game that reminds me of Dark Souls, I just think, okay, another Souls-like game. But from the trailer that we watched before, if I was to see this, like I said, I would have thought it was a sequel in the Dark Souls series. If I had a Dark Souls game and Mortal Shell side by side, it might be hard to choose which one I want to play through first. I know some people will disagree that and maybe think I'm hyping this up too much, but I honestly think from what I saw before, it looks like one of the best Souls-like games I've ever seen. This is on PlayStation's official channel, so for this one, the window is going to be really small because I don't want to get copyright claimed. I still might, but we'll see.
I do not deserve absolution, yet still I seek it.
You must find his name.
Oh my god, look at the fucking world. Look at that fucking suit. Okay, that part confuses me, but we'll go back later. So, I just want to say the look of the areas, beautiful. Though I will say that the areas look dead and empty. Every fight that we see is like a 1v1. So I do hope that this game is going to have like more congested areas, or at least I just want to see some of the areas feel more alive. Well, right here, I guess there's a bunch of enemies. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies here. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, it looks really, really good, but in a way, the areas also kind of remind me of the kind of games that randomly generate dungeons. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of platforms and stuff. Maybe that's just the look of the world in this game. But yeah, I can already see here, like, this very narrow space that they're fighting on is gonna fuck you so hard. Like, you're gonna fall off of that if you get kicked at a weird angle. And if kicking people off the edge like that is an actual mechanic, god damn. This little clip right here shows us that the only mobs like won't just be creatures and things like that. Like, you got bandits here, and this area is like greenery, a forest, and then you got areas like this where, I don't know, you're in some kind of small pond with a creature that crawled out of some giant head. That's amazing. You know I gotta hit on this. We getting sexy in Mortal Shell. Is this an enemy or is this a player? I like this game a lot. If it plays as smooth as it looks in the trailer, like, and again, like, the development team for this was smaller, so this is just pretty unbelievable at what they've accomplished. Now let's take a look at the IGN gameplay that went on for 16 minutes and 37 seconds.
You see here that we're learning who this shell was, what their name was, and each time you unlock a little bit more about their history, you acquire one of their abilities as well.
Okay, so shells, I guess, are like the characters you play as, and they all have their own backstory, and you learn more about them as you unlock and progress that character or shell, which I think is cool. That's a cool system. Anyway, let me skip through a bit because I want to find some gameplay.
It looks like there was a scene where we saw the player get knocked out of a shell. Is that something that can happen during combat?
Yeah, that's what happens when your HP reaches 0. You get knocked out of your shell. You're put into this more vulnerable state. It can kind of have tactical advantages, but the big disadvantage is that you only have 1 HP when you're in that state. So you have to be super careful. Yeah, you can get back into the shell a limited number of times, but yeah, you've got to really manage your HP, manage your stamina, and kind of explore all
Knocked out of
all
your
the tactics
shell?
there.
You can get back into it?
But if you're really hardcore, you can actually
That's a cool
even
system.
like play through the game without any shells at all. Like if you really want
Oh,
a
yeah.
challenge. So
Play through the
that's
game
always an
without a
option.
shell? Whoa.
Yeah, in
Oh,
fact,
man,
there's like
there's
a
a-
secret spot that we hope one of those more hardcore players who really want the challenge to find, where you like sort of officially within the game's lore, obviously, you renounce the bonding with all the shells. It even changes your skin, and it kind of like, all right,
That's going to be really cool, especially seeing those really good streamers that can speed run Dark Souls naked.
Try to do like a
Seeing
no-shell
them,
playthrough.
yeah, exactly what he said, a no-shell
Sure,
playthrough, speed run.
Yeah.
So you're being upfront that this is a Souls-like game. What made you decide to make this kind of game?
I mean, I guess for us it was never even a question what type of game we want to do because we all are fans of these games. We enjoy playing them.
That's
we
amazing.
love the meaning and the philosophy that they have inside. So we just wanted to do something that we would play ourselves and hopefully other people will enjoy too.
the sense of like the overcoming sort of your internal struggle, the journey that you go through, and how sort of like character strengthening those experiences are. So in a way, what really happened.
I get what
for
he's
us
saying,
also as a
but
studio, we're really
I've
bonded
never
and
experienced
also,
struggle
over
the
this
way that I
shared
have
passion,
with
and we
Sekiro.
make real-life friends as well.
I thought
And,
Dark
you
Souls
know,
and
everybody
Bloodborne
finds
was hard,
something
but
their own of these
Sekiro
kind of
really gave
games.
me a
Now,
run
you
for
know,
my
it's a
money.
genre that
Like
is
that was
here to
brutal
stay, and we
as
hope to
fuck.
have something- those kind of genres just more than that, just the game. They're really
Whoa.
they're good for you.
So which
That
of the Souls games were the
fucking
biggest
weapon, though.
inspiration for you?
It's maybe like 20 years old.
Is he
even
playing
more.
an instrument?
But
Different melee
That looks
combat
creepy.
games like Blades of Darkness for sure, and it was even Golden Axe and Quake 1. It's not a melee combat, but it's still a good it's a pretty deep mood and a style.
So,
I was
part of me is
really
like,
inspired of that
wow, it
game.
doesn't seem that impactful.
And like the- I
But
like the animation
there's
is
actually a
great.
sound delay. There has to be a sound delay because this headset has a sound delay when it's in wireless mode, but it's wired right now. Just seems to be a sound delay. And another thing I wanted to say about the impact was, yeah, it doesn't seem like the monsters are reacting too much to the player's attacks, and that's what this top comment says. The enemies react too weakly to players' attacks. Sometimes you cannot even say if the player is dealing damage or not. There's no strong and clear impact, I think. Hope this will be adjusted in some way. Yeah, let's hope so. But for now, the game still looks good. Still looks very playable.
Right, we're gonna try not to spoil things just yet.
Ooh,
but,
that was like a
generally,
nice
we can
parry,
say that, the player's gonna find
which I'm gonna
themselves
suck
in
at.
this world that was, tarnished and by this influence of the so-called, like, well, we call it internally, we're like, in a funny way referring to the juice, is this substance that has almost like magical kind of like abilities that is created, the sacred nectar. And this sacred nectar is pretty much the sort of the root of all
I've heard that
conflict in the
used
world.
in
The
different
main concept that the
contexts
player's
many
gonna use
times.
to fully
Is that a boss?
develop the combat abilities of their shell.
Oh,
but
this
it's
area
also
looks
other
good.
Players, sorry, not players.
Perfect for a boss
other
fight,
NPCs
and it is.
Enemies also seeking
Holy
the
shit.
But in general, like speaking, if we baseline it, the in the game, everybody is basically searching for a meaning, and not only you as a player, but also like other NPCs or other like creatures that populate the world. They're all in search for meaning, and some of them find it, some of them don't. But it's all about that.
I would say that the game like looks pretty good, like near perfect. It's just the impact of when certain monsters hit players and when you hit like monsters in certain ways. You just don't really see the impact too much.
And one kind of important kind of a pillar design hook idea, right? And also,
Oh, he got knocked out of his
obviously it has
shell.
to be integrated in the level within. Like maybe about this particular fella, who's quite mean, and maybe Dmitry can tell us more about this guy.
Oh yeah, it was fun to make a design for this one. We have a few different versions before we hit the style, but the main
Nice.
idea
Carry
that
the
we had
boss.
in mind is like we want to create something a wild, crazy beast, something like a huge, hungry bear on steroids. So and
Yeah, because it's rare when you see a very well balanced combination of both power, like raw power, and fat and speed, and it's hard to get those things right. And like maybe Anthony can talk more about the animation side of things and combat there for this guy.
Yeah, because that was like part of the creation of the creatures too. Like we don't have any motion capture animation in game, so everything is keyframed, and we were trying to really focus and put like exaggerations and accents in the right moment.
No motion capture. They did a really good job though.
And same not only for enemies but for player too.
It looks very realistic, like the movement.
Lego pieces, but like we've been tweaking timings a lot, like frame by frame, to make sure it works.
So how big and how
I
open
love
is this world?
that the weapon can do that.
The world is, I mean, taking the studio size, we knew from the start that like we have to focus on the quality rather than the quantity. So we can call
Whoa. So as it died, it looks like the room started shattering and icicles were falling from the ceiling. Maybe I'm seeing shit, but if that happened, that's pretty badass.
Elements and pieces throughout the world. A lot of interesting places to explore where you can find some.
Okay, so this is it of the gameplay. Looks like the rest is, you know, like them doing the interview. I'm excited for this game. Watching this has not decreased my hype whatsoever. It's only increased it. I do think the impact can use a little work, but overall, this is like, this is right up my alley. So let me know what you guys think about Mortal Shell. I will link these videos down below so that you can watch them for yourself. But with that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. See you soon, friends.